Hey everybody, this is Melina from scrapbookingwithme.com and Me Crafty Scrapper here on YouTube and Instagram and over on Facebook at Me Crafty Scrapper Creates. And today is a kind of maybe great for beginners video. Some of y'all seasoned junk journalers and paper crafters are going to look at this project and go, yeah, that's very simple, Melina. Well, you know, I'm into simple. That's my favorite thing ever. If it makes my life easier, or if it's an easy project that I can add to my journals or scrapbook pages or whatever, that's a project that I want to do. So, mainly this is getting a full page in your journal decorated super quickly. I've had requests in the past about my journals are so plain looking. What can I do that's super quick and super easy that I can decorate the pages? Okay, so pockets, of course, are one of the easiest things to add to your pages to decorate them up. A little collage border or tuck of some kind, like this one, really, really easy. But I've come to this part in my little idea journal. It's just really a signature. It needs a good cover and all that. So I just put this together just so when we are making projects, I can add them to this and have, you know, all the ideas in one journal so that I can go through and get an idea from this to add to a journal in the making. Okay. Before I get to all of this, I want to thank everybody that has went over to my Buy Me a Coffee website and picked up those free digitals I have over there. I have had so many emails in the last week. Every time someone claims one of those free digitals on my Buy Me a Coffee website, I get an email notification. And my inbox has been cram-packed full of people claiming those. So I'm so excited that y'all like the free digitals that I have for you, available for you over there. I am working on 2 or 3 more. I'm also working on one that will be available to members only over at my Buy Me a Coffee website. I have not done that before, but I have built up my membership. I think being a member, monthly member over there is like $5 a month or something. And I don't have anything exclusively just for the members over there, and I think I need to do that because that is building up. But I thank everybody for going over to my Buy Me a Coffee website and grabbing up those free digitals. And there's a place where some of them have been putting in a donation and donating. You know, after they claim all those digitals, they donate a couple of dollars. And I thank you so much for that. Every bit of the money that y'all donate to me goes right back into my YouTube channel. I, you know, get more good stuff to use and to make projects with, use here on YouTube. So I thank you so much. So first off, this is just a half sheet journal. So what I'm talking about is like a piece of copy paper. This one is just tea stained, folded in half. That is a half sheet journal size. Okay, so it's just folded in half. You put a bunch of papers with this, and then you sew in your 3 binding signature sew whatever. It's called a binding, Melina. It's called a binding. But you put in your 3 holes through your signature and then through whatever cover you want to use. And all the sheets are just turned sideways. They're half sheets. And you can do like this. You can do book pages turned sideways. You can do ledger paper. Any kind of like dot grid paper, stuff like that, just turn it sideways, fold it in half, and then stack all your papers, and that becomes your signature like this was. It's just a bunch of different papers. I even put some bags in here. That's some scrapbook paper that I folded to make little side tucks in the middle. Here's one of the bags. I just turned it sideways. And then there's the bottom half of that bag. I just trimmed off the bottom of the bag and punched a little semicircle, half circle there for my thumb notch. I probably need to do the same thing on this one. But anyway, you just turn the stuff sideways and then you sew it in as your signature. And there's the middle of mine. And I put some lace in the middle there. It's just kind of my signature in a signature that I like to put in. And you can fold these over or tuck them in as little tiny bookmarks or something. Make them a little bit longer and you can pull them over and make bookmarks. Anyway, so that's what I'm talking about when I am saying you will need to cut a sheet of scrapbook paper, whatever, some kind of decorative paper. You'll need to cut that at 8 inches tall by just under 5 inches wide. So just under 5 inches wide this way, and then 8 inches tall up and down, because most of all your papers that you're putting in a half sheet journal are 8.5 by 11. So your height is going to be 8.5. So you're going to get a little bit of, you know, that page showing back behind what you're putting on. Okay, this is a gorgeous piece of scrapbook paper that I've had in my stash forever and a day. It came from a, I want to say Craft Consortium. I think it is Craft Consortium Signature Series that has been discontinued now. So that is one way, and that was from 12 by 12. Another way, you can use up some 6 by 8 paper pads doing this method that I'm about to show you. So here is a 6 by 8 paper pad. We have some of these in the shop at scrapbookingwithme.com. This is the Bo Bunny Heirlooms collection, Family Heirlooms collection. And we also have the die cuts, the ephemera that goes along with it. Beautiful little collection, kind of vintagey, but it has some pops of color in it too, and beautiful blues in it, and roses. Gorgeous, gorgeous collection. So this is 6 by 8 paper. And y'all know from past videos, I'm a weirdo when it comes to map pattern paper. I'm not a fan. I don't know why people have said, I just can't believe you love vintage stuff, but you don't like I don't. I've never been drawn to it. I just don't like map. So this is one that I will use on a page in a journal, because most of it's going to get covered up. But yeah, this is another way to use up your 6 by 8 paper pads that you may have. So I'm going to knock that arm out on my trimmer. I'm going to cut off this little branding strip here, like so. And then I'm going to go right under the 5 mark. And as easy as that, you have your little background for a half sheet journal page. So there's one that I cut right before I got here on camera, and then here's the one I just cut, and you can move it over as you like. You can center it up as you like. Just don't get too close to the binding or the fold of the page, because then you're going to get resistance. But that is another way. Okay, so this is like the prettiest. You don't even have to add anything else if you don't want to. If you've got a whole page that's pretty plain in your journal and you're thinking, okay, I need something to cover that up, and I'm not going to have enough words to journal that whole page. So maybe you just want some decoration in your journal. This is a great way to do that. Just cut it just a little bit under 5 inches wide by 8 inches tall, and then you can distress around the edges. And I'm using, this is, I have to hold it up to me, I can't see anymore, Gathered Twigs, because I've got that big blob in the middle of most all of my ink pads from where I let the dauber rest, the blending tool rest on top of it. I'm just going to ink around the edges. I'm going to go ahead and put this one into my idea journal. The rest of them that we'll be working on, I won't put in this per se, but I'll show you what they look like. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this in. What I'm going to do is use my double-sided tape glider. And this is the Scotch brand. I've had this forever. This is what I started out using when I was scrapbooking. Love, love, love this tape glider. And I have this listed in my Amazon storefront. That's in the description box below, along with the refills that I use. I do not use the Scotch refills. I use an off-brand. They work just as good or better, in my opinion. Okay, and then I might just put a little dot of liquid glue in the corners just to make sure everything is really good and adhered, because when you're putting on double-sided tape you really can't get all the way in the corner unless you go over the sides, and I don't like that. So just in the corners, making sure everything is going to sit well. And then move it around as needed. Alright, and just like that, you have a beautiful, beautifully decorated page in your journal. Nothing else needed. But if you want this to be functional, and not just, oh, I turn the page and, oh, it's beautiful. Okay, we can't really write on this. I mean, I guess we could, but let's make it functional too. So we're going to just add just the simplest of pockets, and that's going to be one little tiny shallow one right here. So we can get it from the same paper if we want to. There's some purple that is the back side of that, and we can just go ahead and use that. And I think I'm going to do maybe 1.5 inches. Let's see where that would put us. If we did 1.5 inches, great way to use up scraps too. And we're going to go just a little under 5. And we're going to put this right up against it. Yes. Wonderful. Done. And I'm going to get my circle punch and make myself just a little bitty circle notch. And then I'm going to ink it with the Gathered Twigs just like I did the base. And then we can decorate this little pocket any way we want to. So here is this tiny little shallow pocket right down here. We're not covering up the beauty that is this scrapbook paper. And we're just going to put a little zhuzh of glue around the 3 sides and try to, as Mama calls it, drive our glue straight, which I hardly ever succeed in that. And just like that, we have a pocket page, a full page pocket page. And let's try to put a little decoration of sorts down here. And we can do a little bit of that same paper maybe just on an edge or something, and just tear it. Make an intentional tear here, like that. Ink it. This is very matchy-matchy. And then we can put any kind of other little die cuts or something like that, or a word phrase. Let's look at what we've got here. Today is a good day. And there you have a beautifully decorated pocket page, all made up, and room to put whatever you would like in there. Easy, easy peasy. Okay. Here is the other one that we cut, and I told you, not the biggest map fan. So on this one, we're going to cover it up quite a bit more than we did that one. Now I do love the colors that is in this matte paper, but I just never have really been a matte fan. Somebody explain that to me. Why? I think it's all the geometric lines and stuff that are on matte paper. I don't know. But I'm really going to dirty up a couple of places that I know might not get covered up as much. Okay. And then we are going to do a stacked pocket page. And you can use your scraps in this also. I really do believe, I love this dark purple here that's on this. It's kind of like an ombre look to it. So let's do one of those. And then we can get this. Oh yes, that's beautiful. That tea stain paper. We can get that out. And I'm just reaching over to my bowl of scraps that is full to overflowing, that I can't even get into the shot here. I'm going to go ahead. Yep. And if we did that one, let's see, we can do the purple at the top maybe, and I will flip it over so the ombre that I love here will be seen. And then we can do that one in the middle, and then whatever we put on the bottom, that's the one that's going to be seen the most. So, you know, kind of pick out what you would like on the bottom that would, ooh, that would show up the most, that you love the most. Let's use that. We're going to make it busy. Busy, busy. Okay. We're going to line these up, make it really easy. Line them up together. And I'm going to go just under 5 inches. And then figure out how tall I want these. I'm going to go 2.5 inches. And I want that ombre. Okay, so 2.5 by just under 5. I want this on there, so 2.5, just under 5. And then this one, let's go ahead and cut it height-wise. 2.5. Just under 5. So then we have all 3 of our pockets, and we can stack them any which way we want to, and any height in between that we want also. I like that, but I'm thinking the purple needs to go in the middle, just so that we can break up that tan section. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. And then so you're going to figure out, do I want more purple showing, or do I want to stack them a little closer and pull them down a little bit more? See, I think that looks a little bit better. So yeah, we're going to do the first one, and I'm going to make myself a mark. If I can find my pencil. There's my pencil mark for my top pocket. Okay, then I'm going to line this purple one up and the bottom one and figure out where I need to put the bottom of the purple one. And just like that, I believe. So pencil mark there. And then this one will just go on the bottom. Now I'm going to do the little thumb notch in all three. So I'm just going to line them up together. Easiest way to do a thumb notch and get them all in the same spot. And then all the clippings go right to your mouth when you do that. Then ink the edges. And again, I'm using gathered twigs. This was some of that premium copy paper, so it's not too thin, that I tea stained a couple of months ago. And then go around each one. Of course, you don't have to go on the bottom of the purple one. I didn't have to go on the bottom of that one, but then I will need to go all the way around on this one. And it's darker, so it's not going to show as much, but that's why I went with gathered twigs, because it is a little bit darker than something like vintage photo or tea dye. And then I'm just going to go around it on the three sides. Find my first pencil mark, and I will have to hold this up to me so I can see it. There it is, right there. Okay, then just kind of squish out that glue and start in with your other one. And I'm definitely not going to drive the glue straight, not being able to use all of my fingers because there's glue on the other ones. How have y'all been this week? Anything enormously huge going on in your life that you want to share with me? Make sure to leave me a comment. Okay, there and there, and then last one. The good thing about this Bo Bunny paper is it's one-sided, so you're not covering up another beautiful part on the back. Alright, and then the last pocket goes on like so. And then you can go around the edges in case you didn't get all the way to the edge of the base for whatever reason on one side. Just ink around those edges one more time, and it kind of blends everything in with no worries whatsoever. So the purple is showing a little bit more than what I would have liked, so I can decorate that up some, put a little strip of something on it, even put like some washi tape. This is some of that Temu washi tape that Mom had gotten, and I don't have any wide washi tape, and so she was like, hey, I got extra of this, do you want? I was like, yes. Don't even have to ask me twice. Yes, I want it, because I didn't have any wide washi tape. And now just going to figure out if I need to move that some, and I don't think so. I'm not going to worry about perfection and it being absolutely positively straight. And I'm just going to fold it over on the back too, because this is just going to get glued down into my journal, so no worries with that. And then you could even put this, a pocket like this, on the back cover of your journal, or you could put it on a page. Whichever way you wanted to do it. It is very busy right there, but I'm just showing you. And then you add whatever you want, ephemera, whatever, down and through there. I want to find a little stamp of some kind and cover up my wonkiness. You know, I always say I'm not worried about perfection, but then when it goes rogue on me, I'm like, oh, I need to cover that up. Oh yeah, that goes well. Not even going to ink around it, just going to put it down. And put it down like that, and put it down at a wonky angle. I am going to put it on right side up though. That would have drove me insane. Right side up, but at a wonky angle. That way kind of takes away from the fact that I put the washi tape on a little crooked. But decorate up your pockets any way you would like. And then you can add in your tags or whatever you have. You have your pocket here, you have a pocket here, and then your pocket there. So a 3-tier or a stacked full-page pocket. So we have a simple little shallow 1-page pocket. We have a 3-stacked full-page pocket. We can also do like a secretarial pocket. And let's cut some more paper. Let's do this paper. Very, very pretty. Script paper. And we're going to cut our height at 8 inches. And then, of course, if you're making like a mini journal or a jumbo size journal, you're just going to cut your height down 1/2 of an inch shorter than what your actual page height is. And then same way with your width. Just come in about 1/2 of an inch to get that size correct. So there's our 2 examples there. Now we have another full page. We're going to, you could also, if you wanted to, I know lots of people don't like the straight edge, you can round the corners like so, and then ink around the edge and do a secretarial pocket. And that is just kind of like a triangle pocket of sorts. But I'm going to do mine torn, and you can stack these also. You can do just one secretarial pocket, or you can stack another smaller one on top of it, and you can use up scraps doing this too. So let's get some more paper from here. Ooh, I like that polka dot. Okay, let's do that one. Ooh, I like that one too. Just go with the first 2 you come across, Melina. I'm going to trim off these branding strips. I had to find my Tim Holtz trimmer. If anybody has been looking for these, they have been out of stock with Tim Holtz and Ranger, or whoever is the manufacturer. Sorry. Tonic. And we just got these back in stock. So if you've been looking for a small guillotine trimmer, we got them. So I want this top one that I make out of this. And what I'll do is just maybe just 1/8 of an inch down from the corner. I'll start and then I'm going to line it up how I want it. So that is gorgeous already. I love it. And what I'm going to do is ink this edge. You don't have to measure this out perfectly in the very beginning. Just ink your top edge. This one that's going to be the pocket. Ink that first. Then go around your base that's going to be sitting on your page. Go around your base and put your glue where you want that pocket to go. And then you're going to line that up. Look, I get real thick with my liquid glue. You're going to line that up where you want it. And I want it to go all the way across here and then almost all the way to the top up there. And I'm going to flip this over, get up all the excess glue. And then see, I have some excess here. I'm going to move this around a little bit to even it out. Okay, yep, just like that. Then I have excess that I'm going to get my sticky scissors. If you are new here, I use one pair of scissors to cut things that may be a little sticky or have adhesive on them. It's a good way to keep your good scissors your good scissors. So I'm using my sticky scissors to go all the way around the edge. And then this is a rounded base, so I'm just going to follow that curve and cut off all of the excess and try my best not to cut the base while doing so. Okay. And see all that stickiness gone, and my one pair of scissors that I use with the stickiness is what I use. Okay, so there is simplest little secretarial pocket you'll ever make, and it is a full page. And it looks a little smaller because we did round the corners, but that is a full page secretarial pocket. And if you want to do, I mean, most people would call that a tuck, but if you wanted to do another on top of this, just going to kind of line it up where you would want it. And then start ripping. You can also just use your trimmer on this. You don't have to rip it if you don't like the torn edge look. I personally love the torn edge look. Okay, and then you can line it up ever how you would like. If you want it to go more at a true angle with this, then you're going to move that bottom part down just a little bit like that. Or if you want to just line it up like that, you know, you've got a little bit less showing there. However you want to do it. I'm going to go off just a little bit right through here and come up that way, I think. So then, just going to run my glue and hope for the best. Because I do need it to come down a smidge, or I would like it to come down a smidge. It doesn't have to. I'm okay with it not being totally even section right there, because I don't want to lose all of that decoration either that's on the edge. Okay, and then I come back with my sticky scissors. Try not to move the paper that still has wet glue on it. And then go around that corner. And then all the way up. And then ink that edge. And decorate how you would want to. So you've got a double secretarial pocket on this full page, just like that. Cute, right? Okay, so there is the third way of making a full page pocket page. Full pocket page in your journals. And then this next way is a little bit different. I'm going to use this beautiful paisley paper right here, and this came from the, I want to say Gingham Garden collection that we have in the shop right now at scrapbookingwithme.com. And in that collection, the branding strip comes off in a little perforated edge. I love that. I'm going to get my trimmer, and I'm going to cut my height first. Let's go this way. 8 inches. And then right under 5. Okay, so you have this paper as your background, you know, and it's kind of plain. It's paisley, it's a pale pink, it's beautiful, but it's kind of plain, and you're thinking, how can I dress this up and maybe put a pocket on it? Now, this is great paper for journaling also, so you wouldn't have to necessarily cover up the whole thing. If you didn't want to, you could put just a little shallow pocket like we did on that first one, and then journal on the rest of it, or decorate the rest of it. But here is a neat way to use up a few envelopes or something. We're going to make an envelope pocket on this full page pocket. And then you just get an envelope that you have in your stash, or you can make an envelope. Envelopes are very, very, very easy to make. Just get you some scrap paper or a cutoff or something, and fold up and then fold down, and you have an envelope. This one was in my stash, and it was a bigger envelope, a taller envelope. And I just cut it down to size to fit on this page, and altered it there. You can see a little bit of my gluing there where I folded over that flap, just like that. And then I think I'm going to decorate this one with this little cut apart from that paper a while ago. I'm going to just adhere this to the flap of the envelope, and then we're going to have like a little fold out there. And then I'm going to use this mulberry paper that got inked up from something I had extra and it got inked up. I'm going to use that mulberry paper on this envelope. So I'm going to go glue all the way around, but just making sure that I don't get inside of the envelope, because then, you know, you wouldn't have a pocket at all. You would just have something pretty that you decorated. Go all the way to the edge. Most important, so nothing starts flipping up or coming apart. I'm going to put on this mulberry paper, and where it lands, because you don't want to move it around too much. And just kind of flatten it down to that glue. And then flip it over. Easiest way I've ever found to decorate an envelope. Get my sticky scissors. I almost got my good scissors that are not sticky scissors. I'm going to trim that mulberry paper all the way across. And when that kind of paper gets wet, it's a little tricky to cut. Just do the best you can if you are using some mulberry paper from your stash. I know that was a huge thing back in the 90s when I first started scrapbooking, but then it kind of went away, and now it has come back, in my eyes anyway. And then let's open up the envelope and trim down this side. Okay, so then you have this, and you can make a decision here. Do you want to cut it down to the exact way that the envelope was trimmed, or do you want to just put in a little half moon shape with your paper punch, or what do you want to do? So what I'm going to do is just kind of go with what I already had with the envelope, and I'm just going to trim down and then come over here and trim down. Okay, and then I'm going to fold back and figure out how far down I need to come, just about like that. Not looking for perfection, but just want to get it pretty good trimmed out. Anything that you get from me is not going to be perfection. Just saying that right now, if you hadn't figured it out already. Okay, and then I'm just going to barely trim on the edges here, and then barely trim here also. Okay, so there is that, and I want to get my gathered twigs. Mulberry paper is so beautiful with distress ink around the edges. It just looks like old, kind of burnt paper. I love that look. I'm going to go all the way around here. I'm good with the inside here. It's a craft color. That's a nice neutral journal color or shade, and I'm good with that. I am going to, however, fold back that fold, that top flap, give myself a good ink mark there, and then go around here, because when the pocket's open you will be able to see this. And then if you want to cover up, just put a little line of something and cover up that adhesive place. You might want to do that, because then if your journal ever gets wet, you might not be able to open your pocket. So you might want to do that. For my flap, let's see what I want to do there as far as decoration goes. I've got this pretty green paper that goes along with my ink spots down here. And I'm just going to put glue all over the flap. Okay, then I'm going to put this where I want it. and then fold that flap back and make sure that everything is on this side of that fold mark, because if you don't, then you're going to get some resistance when opening and closing your pocket. Okay, just like that, and then get my scissors again, go around that envelope. Now see, this full page pocket's a little more involved, but when you see the final result, it's so pretty, and it's a great way to use up envelopes that you might have in your stash. Most of the time, a little more involved, shows a little more effort and a little more beauty to your journals. Okay, so we fold it back over. There we've got that nice green flap, and I'm going to ink that flap up. No need to ink this up because it's going to be glued into your journal. And this paper is kind of plain. It's got like a little chevron pattern on it. So I am going to go a little deeper with my ink on a couple of places, but I'm going to cover this flap up too with that postcard cutout. So there's that. I need to ink my postcard cutout on both sides, because you will be seeing the back side of this one. Then I'm going to figure out how far up I want that postcard to go, and about right there. And I'm going to use my double-sided tape again. Like that. And just a little bit of glue in the corners, and then where it's going to rest, just to make sure it gets on there nice and even. And then even that up some. Of course I went too high, and now I'm going to have to clean off glue. Alright, just like that. And then I need a little bit more glue there, because my flap's wanting to come up on the corner. Okay, so then you've got that attached to your flap, and a little more space just to do whatever on. If you want to journal on that one little spot, you could even journal inside the flap. Then you can add in any kind of ephemera pieces or whatever you would like inside here. Let me see if I've got anything short enough. Let's just go ahead and cut this out. This little invoice, vintage invoice. And this came from a Die Cuts with a View collection. It's peach something, preserves, something like that. And we had this twice in the shop, and it sold really well, but our supplier is out of it right now. And that's where it's where this paper came from too. Alright, let's trim this. Do a little rounded edge maybe right there. Ink that up. And we can add this inside of our envelope pocket. Like that. And then we have that folded over. And then we will adhere this envelope, the back of the envelope, to the middle of this full page decoration that we're adding into our journal. I just love these full page or full pocket pages because it really dresses up the entire page, and then you're not going back through your journal going, oh, that page is so plain. It really needed something else just because you only added, you know, a pocket at the bottom or something. This way it gets it all decorated and you're done with that page in your journal. I know that when I'm decorating my journal and I've gotten, you know, as we say, 411 pages to journal on, but then I'm thinking, I'm never going to be able to fill up this journal. I'm going to go back through and I'm going to make some full page pockets. And I'm going to use some of my scrapbook paper that I've had in my collection in my stash for eons and dress up those pages. Now look at that. Is that not one of the cutest full pocket pages you ever did see? And then you can put it there. This would be another great one for the back cover. And you could do the envelope either way and do it on the front cover too. Then open up. Oh, I love that. Especially if you're using paper for your cover that you go back and go, I'm not too in love with that paper, which I love music paper, so I am in love with this, and I would not cover this whole thing up. But if you do go back and go, I'm not in love with that cover paper I used, here is you an idea, and look how beautifully that mats up against it. So you can see music paper, then you can see the scrapbook paper we used, and then you have your side open envelope pocket. So 4 great ways of using up 6x8 paper or using up any kind of scrapbook paper that you may have in your stash that is bigger and you don't know what to do with it. I have given you 4 pocket page ideas here. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment below, and I will have links in the description box below. And y'all have a great day. God bless. Love ya. Bye, y'all.